What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be bringing you guys another KOZMO deck profile, but this is going to be a KOZMO Dark Planet deck profile. And this is mainly because I've seen in my previous video about why KOZMOs don't use Dark Planet that people are actually quite interested in Dark Planet, because most KOZMO decks won't use it, and people probably get confused why they don't use it, because it's a really good card. And yeah, just in general, Dark Planet is a really good card, but not most decks use them, so I thought I'd make a KOZMO Dark Planet deck and yeah, show you guys how good Dark Planet can actually be, and maybe I can show you guys some replays later on. But yeah, let's get into it. So firstly, we obviously have 3 Dark Planets. Well, mainly because it's a Dark Planet deck, but it's just so efficient because you Dark Planet to special summon him, you have to banish KOZMOs from your hand whose level is equal to or more than 10. And a really good combo you can do is use Dark Planet as a cost for Dark Planet, so you can banish Dark Planet and then summon Dark Planet. And it's just so easy, and then you can just get Dark Planet back by paying 1,000 life points using KOZMO Town, but you've got a 4,000 attack and you're going to do a lot more damage to your opponent than you're going to take, which is just 1,000. And yeah, I just think it's an amazing looking card in general. And this one's, I've got this single one in a really good card sleeve as well. But yeah, I loved using Dark Planet. So for those of you who think that I made that video means Dark Planet's bad, no, I just was giving reasons why most KOZMO decks don't use them. But KOZMO Dark Planet decks are actually really good. So 3 Dark Planets. Now from the previous KOZMO Dark Planet deck profile I made, this one has 2 Dark Eclipses and a Dark Destroyer, and they're very high level. So this is 9, this is 8. So you can just combo Tin Can with Dark Eclipser or Strawman with Dark Destroyer, and it only costs 2 monsters in the end, or just use Dark Planet. And you're using quite a few really good big ships. You've got 3 cards to negate spells, 2 cards to negate traps, and Dark Destroyer, the big machine itself for the OTK. And yeah, you got 3 3k beaters and 3 4k beaters, so you're going to be pumping out a lot of damage with this deck. And yeah, you just use 2 Dark Eclipses, obviously for the easier special summon of Dark Planet, and Dark Destroyer, as well as using 2 because you've got more monsters with really high attack. Next we have 2 Foreigners as well. The Foreigners with Farm Girls and Sword Troopers help special summon Dark Planet, but Foreigner can also be used to gain life points back from getting Dark Planet back from the graveyard. Banished area and paying 1,000, but you just get 1,000 back from Foreigner. Then we have 1 Dogfighter. Well, it can be used to help special summon Dark Planet, but we're mainly using Dogfighter for the viruses that we use in the deck, which is, I believe, 2 of them use 2,000 or more attack or defense, but he's balanced as well, and he can summon tokens which can be used to tribute as well. 3 Slip Riders, that's just Slip Rider mainly is in case you want to go into Infinity as well, but it can also be used to pop easy back rows. Doesn't really cost you anything, just banish special summon. It's a good card that you can go into smaller ships as well as just popping any spell or trap card on the field that you think would change the game and make it more in your favor, as well as popping Call of the Haunted and then go into other combos. 1 Dark Lady. I always just use 1 Dark Lady. I think she's really good, but she's really good at 1. Because too many Dark Ladies can it can result in this being the highest level monster, which I experience quite a lot. This is the highest level monster you've got, and if you finish off by summoning her with your final combo, if she dies, she's dead, because she can't be banished special summon. So I like to keep her at 1. That's it for the over level 4s. For the level 4s and unders, we have 2 Wicked Witch. Wicked Witch is just an amazing card. It's so good at stalling until you draw a good hand, as well as 1,900 attack is really good for a level 4 as well. And it's also good for going into XYZ. Not that the deck uses XYZ. I think I've used in my past maybe 100 games, I've used my extra deck twice maybe. 2% of the games, but it can come in clutch sometimes. You never know with the Gaga Cowboy or Castell or Silent on a Rock, or you never know what you could use. Next we have 2 Farm Girls. you don't want to run 3 farm girls because you can kind of break, and you don't want to run 1 because you want to have a high chance of drawing it. Plus, if you lose a farm girl, you can use another one. So 2 is a good number, like I've said before. And 1 sword trooper. Sword troopers, if it comes to that time where maybe you want to send psychics to your graveyard as well, so they can be used with Dark Planet and Dark Eclipse to banish and negate. But you can also send them if you have Sword Trooper in your hand, so it can be an easy special summon, and you've just pretty much got an extra card as well, like a Call of the Haunted for psychics. And if Dark Lady has been sent there, you can just get her back as well. Really broken sometimes. 2 Strawmans, I still think this is probably the second best psychic after Farm Girl, because the fact that you can, for example, I've been using this quite a bit, and what I realized is, if you have this in your hand, 2 of the monsters in Dark Planet, you can banish those 2 of the monsters. For example, I don't know, Tin Can and Eclipser, special summon Dark Planet, summon this and go into battle, not go into battle phase, summon this and special summon just Dark Eclipser, the one that you banished. And there we go, you've got a 4k beta, a 3k beta, and you've got Strawman. And it's just broken with the fact that you're banishing quite a lot. And if you want, you can actually pump Strawman up to 3 and maybe take out Sword Trooper, because with the amount of banishing you're going to be doing with Dark Planet and banishing from your graveyard as well, Strawman can be really good. And final monsters are going to be 3 Tin Can. That's pretty much obvious. You want to be sending cards to your graveyard to help you with Dark Planet and just get your big ships in general. That's it for the monsters. For the spells, we have 3 KOZMO Towns. Don't need to explain that. Explained it too many times. I'm going with the 2 Allure of Darknesses. 2 reasons. I think 3 can be too much. You might not want to, banish other cards, or there's better cards that you can use instead of 3. And I just noticed that mostly when I use 3 Allure of Darknesses, I kind of end up with having Allure of Darkness just in my hand without a dark monster that I want to get rid of in my hand and not with KOZMO Town. So I like to keep Allure of Darkness at 2, because your ratio of Allure of Darkness to Dark Monster is a lot better, so you've got a higher chance of having Allure of Darkness and Dark Monster compared to 3 Allure of Darkness and then the Dark Monster you're using. 1 E-Tele should be used in every KOZMO deck anyway. The OTKs that can be done with this just by entering your battle phase, having a Psychic. For example, what I love doing is, if I've got Dark Planet and I could have, I don't know, Strawman and use his effect to special summon Eclipser. Let me put that in the screen. I love to keep, if this is in my hand, you can attack or whatever. They might negate this one, banish it, or you never know what cards they're using, flip them face down or whatever. And if you have destroyed a few monsters and they do it when you're attacking directly, for example drowning, just activate E-Tele from your hand and you got a Farm Girl, and they pretty much used what they wanted to stop you, but you've got E-Tele in your hand, so that's really good for that as well. 1 Raigeki and a Dark Hole. Pretty much self-explanatory. Raigeki you should use anyway because it gets rid of your opponent's board. Going second is something you want to be doing if you... Well, me personally, I've never said this, but I prefer going second anyway, because I just love starting off with 6 cards instead of 5. And especially when your opponent does everything, and the amount of times that I've just activated Raigeki and all their monsters gone because they've summoned everything in their first turn and just wins you games. And Dark Hole can be used to do it on your own monsters as well, and special summon into lower monsters that you want, as well as getting rid of your opponent's monsters. So you can get rid of maybe Slip Rider and Forerunner and go into another Slip Rider, pop a back row, go into a Farm Girl from Slip Rider and OTK. And last spell we use is Limiter Removal. Now, we all know that Dark Planet is 4,000 attack and 4,000 defense, meaning Limiter Removal would make it 8,000, and I have actually, I think, quite a few times OTK'd them with 1 attack from Dark Planet. Plus, Limiter Removal also destroys all your machine monsters in the end. So in the end phase, you never know, you could go into Tin Can and search some monsters, as well as go into some Slip Rider, pop the back row, go into Forerunner if you've got bigger ships. If you've got Dark Planet and Dark Eclipser, you can add cards to your hand, and it's just really good setting you up for next turn. So Limit Removal is a really good card with this deck. Then for the traps, we have 1 of each virus, Deck Devastation, Full Force, and Eradicate Epidemic. I think the reason this is really good with this deck is, firstly, you're attributing a monster with 2,000 or more defense, 2,000 or more attack, and 2,500 more attack. So with Eradicator, you've got 3 Dark Planets, 2 Eclipses, and Dark Destroyer. And with the viruses, you've got 3 Dark Planets, 2 Eclipses, 1 Dark Destroyer, and the tokens that you can get from Dogfighter. So they're really good with them too. And these 3 cards currently with the meta are really good against the meta, especially in KOZMOs, because they do have quite a few targets. And the third reason why these are really good with this specific deck is because with Dark Planet and Dark Eclipse, you're going to be banishing monsters from your deck anyway, from your graveyard anyway. So you want to have cards there in the first place, so you can distribute monsters. For example, what I usually do is if I've got a Strawman and a Special Summon, but I've got nothing else in my hand, I'll use KOZMO or full one of the. Actually, no, wait, not Strawman. I use Strawman with KOZMO. But with other cards, you can tribute them and send them to the graveyard. If you've got Dark Planet and Dogfighter, send Dogfighter to the graveyard and activate one of the virus effects. These 2, and you've got targets then for Dark Planet if you didn't draw Tin Can. So it's always nice getting targets using these viruses. And then for Psychics, you can send you can use KOZMO to send them to the graveyard. If you have nothing to banish them, it's better to send them to the graveyard rather than lose life points. And 2 KOZMOs are broken anyway, because the effect is to target a KOZMO monster you control. You can do it in a way that if they don't respond, then that's it. You can choose to banish a card and they can't chain anything to that, which is quite good against Cyframe Lord Omega as well. So what I usually do is if they activate an effect, I'll activate KOZMO and target one of my monsters, and if he doesn't respond, just banish Cyframe Lord Omega or any other card, which most people don't expect. I've seen that when I say I want to banish that monster, they say they want to do this, but I'm like, I've already targeted the monster and now I can banish it without you doing anything, because they can do something when I target my monster, which is really good. And obviously it's not targeting their monster. And lastly, we have Call of the Haunted, which is really good for when you're sending monsters to the graveyard with Tin Can, as well as a backup. So if you are sending cards to the graveyard and you don't have Dark Planet or anything on the field, you may feel like the cards in your graveyard are very useless, so you can just use Call of the Haunted to get the monsters back. And yeah, it's really good for the OTKs as well. That's it for the main deck. This deck, okay, first I'm just going to say now there is no side deck, because this deck I think is good on its own. Yeah, you can maybe take out, I don't know, if the virus is not working with you, which they do work for me, or any other cards, you can take them out for Twin Twist or whatever you want, but that's your choice. Extra deck, there's not really an extra deck, this is just the same that I use for every deck. The main cards I will take out are Break Sword, Utopia and Utopia Lightning, and pretty much Infinity with Big Eye. Big Eye is really good, like just taking control of your opponent's monster for like not giving it back is really good. Utopia Lightning for not allowing your opponent to activate card effects. Phantom Knight is actually really good. I've summoned him and then you can pop a monster you control, maybe that's over level 4 or over level 5, or if it's Slip Rider, you can banish it to special summon. Really good combo, and you can attack with Break Sword as well, 2000 attack. And Cyberdragon Infinity, I think that's pretty much self-explanatory as well. It's just a really good card, negating, attaching, face-up attack with your monsters. But yeah, those are the main cards you should know, but I'll just show you these other cards I use anyway. Consular, Yades, Gaga Cowboy, Abyss Dweller, Castel, Silent Honor, Artifact Durandal, Volcasaurus, Pleiades, and Ptolemy M7. But they're not the main point of focus. Not even the extra deck is the main point of focus, never mind the side deck. It's just mainly about Dark Planet, which is the best card in the deck. Let me just get them here. But yeah, now you guys know that Dark Planet, firstly you should try out the deck, but Dark Planet is a really good and broken card. So I think building this deck can actually work very well, especially in today's meta where you want to be stopping all spell cards and like Pendulum Magicians or Lightsworn actually pretty good these days. And yeah, I guess that's I don't think I've missed anything, but people may say that 3 is too much, but 3 I think is really good. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see any other deck profiles or any other videos about, I don't know, like I made, why Cosmos don't use Dark Planet, or do Cosmos need Twin Twister, then just leave in the comments below. But other than that, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.